Metrics for predicting revenue and profits from paid advertising. You must know 3 metrics to create revenue and profits through paid advertising. They are your profit margin, your customer lifetime value, and your customer or conversion acquisition cost. To keep it simple, we're going to use gross profit margin for a product or service. If you sell a product for $100 and the cost for you is $50 to buy it or make it, then your gross profit margin is $50. Your customer lifetime value is what a customer is worth to you in revenue and profit over a certain amount of time. I recommend you should use 1 year for customer lifetime value. If you know your customers stay around longer and you have the ability to measure it over a longer period of time, that's great. But for most people, it will be better just using 1 year. The way you calculate customer lifetime value is to take your yearly revenue and net profit and divide it by the number of unique customers you had that year. If a person buys from you 3 times, they still only count as 1 unique customer. You had $500,000 in gross revenue and $200,000 of net profit. And that revenue and net profit came from 5,000 unique customers. That means your customer lifetime value for revenue is $100 and the customer lifetime value for net profit is $40. You get these numbers by taking your total annual revenue and dividing it by the amount of unique customers you had during the year. And you do the same calculation for net profit. Your customer and conversion acquisition cost is how much it costs you to acquire a new customer or to get a sale. Here's an example. You spend $25 on paid advertising and you get 1 new customer or a sale. You get this calculation by taking the total amount of ad spend and dividing it by the amount of new customers and sales you got. You spent $2,000 on paid advertising and you got 80 new customers or 80 new sales. You take the $2,000 and you divide it by 80 and you have a customer conversion or acquisition cost of $25. Now you notice I'm using the term customer or conversion acquisition. The reason is your goal could be to get new customers or to get sales. If your goal is to measure your predictable revenue by new customers, then you wouldn't want to advertise to previous customers. If your goal is to measure predictable revenue by sales, then you will want to advertise to existing customers and anyone else that will purchase your product or service. Using the example we used in the beginning, where a customer is worth $100 in revenue and $40 in net profit, for every $25 you spend on paid advertising, you're going to get a new customer worth $100 in annual revenue and $40 in net annual profit. However, since you spent $25 to get that customer, your net profit for that customer is now only $15. If you spend $25,000 on advertising, you will get 1,000 new customers worth $100,000 in gross annual revenue and $40,000 in profit. You have to remember that you spent $25,000 to get that $40,000, so now only $15,000 of that $40,000 is net profit. But you know that every time you spend $25,000 on advertising, you will get a $15,000 net profit. You know every time you spend $1 on advertising, you'll bring $4 in revenue and $1.60 in profit before deducting ad spend. After deducting the ad spend, you will have 60 cents in net profit, which means every time you spend $1, you get $1.60 back. Would you give someone $1 and have them give you $1.60 back? I know I would do that all day, every day, all the time. The reason it's so important to know your numbers is because it lets you know if you can use paid advertising to grow your business and what you can afford to spend on paid advertising. I will show you a couple of examples to give you a better idea. If you sold a product to a person that they only purchased once and never purchase again, or say the product is like a heating furnace that someone will only purchase once every 15 to 20 years, you have to make your profit right away on that one-time sale. You can't wait. If you have a product sell for $40 and the cost of the product is $20 and you spend $25 on advertising to get the sale, you cannot use paid advertising to get sales, because every time you sell a product, you're going to be losing $5. If you lose money every time you sell an item, you will not be in business long, I can promise you that. Now, using the same numbers, say you were able to lower the advertising cost from $10 to $10 from $20. Now, every time you make a sale, you make $10 profit. Depending on your overhead, that may be good enough for you where you can grow your business with paid advertising. Because every time you spend $10 on paid advertising, you're going to make $10 in gross profit. If $2 of every sale covers your operating expense, that means every time you spend $10 on advertising, you have an $8 of net profit. Again, would you give someone $1 if they were to give you back $1.80 back? I think we all know the answer to that question by now. Using the same example, it costs you $20 to make a product and you sell it for $40, but this time it's not a product that a person buys once or a long time passes before they buy another one. This time, instead of a heating system, think of this product more like razor blades or toilet paper. Once the person buys the product, they purchase another one from your website every 60 days or so. You start running paid ads and you find out it costs you $50 to get a sale. Oh man, are you kidding me? I sell it for $40. It cost me $20 to make it. If I spend $50 on paid advertising to sell one, I'm going to lose $30. There's no way I can do that and stay in business. However, if you know your numbers, you know that every person you get to buy one will buy 5 more before the year is over. So you're not just making $20 off that person through that sale. You're making $120 in profit off that person for the year. So now, if I spend $50 to make that first sale, I will lose $30 on that sale because it sells for $40, it costs me $20 to make it, and I spend $50 on ads to sell it. I lose $30. However, wait, they will buy 5 more within a year from my website. I have no advertising cost on those sales, so I will make $100 in profit. That means even if I'm losing $30 on the first sale, at the end of the year, I will have made $70 profit for every person I sold through paid advertising. If you know your numbers, you can create predictable revenue and profit through paid advertising. I hope knowing your numbers will help you scale and grow your business with paid advertising. Keep rocking, and remember you can get free valuable content to grow your business at ProminentFuture.com or on our Facebook at Prominent Future.